Arizona. Katie's writing us from Montana. I think this might be our first writer from Montana.
Good.
It's good to have Katie.
Montana on board.
And the reason why I want to bring this in is that we've heard that banks like J.P. Morgan, for example, like Citigroup, are putting off they're putting a moratorium on mortgages until President Obama comes out with a plan of some sort. That's what it seems to be. It kind of varies depending on what bank. But she says, I have an option arm loan with J.P. Morgan Chase. Is there any chance banks would modify these loans so they contribute to the principal any better? This is on a second home and enabled us to buy an adjacent lot.
Yep. Every modification is unique. Every single one is done on a case-by-case basis. So the answer is yes, possibly there is. What it will come down to, again, is the level of preparation. And one of the things I need to say is sometimes in these modifications you need to have an attorney involved in this to help negotiate that deal with your lender. There's a lot of consumers who've gone to their lenders and come back and not been satisfied with the response. The lender won't help out. Well, the lender does want to help out. The problem is they have too many modification requests and not enough people to handle it. So the squeaky wheel is going to get the grease.
I didn't think about that. You have to think about the fact that their phones are ringing off the hook. I mean, look at our emails and our comment sections. You could just imagine if you're one of the bankers.
Well, a lot of people, because a lot of people are in this spot.
So don't be discouraged by that. But what happens if you can't get a lawyer? I mean, is it just calling every day, a couple times a day, Dale?
Well, it's calling every day, and it's being, again, incredibly prepared when you go in to know what your income is, know what your debt is, have all of your information together so you can show them why you qualify.
Can you give us the 5 things or 3 things that someone needs to know before they get on the phone? What are they going to be asked? And we can post this on our Facebook page too.
The very first thing is they need to have all of their net and gross income figured out, so that the lender can look and say, okay, what are they really making and bringing home right now to determine how much that borrower can afford.
Okay.
Second thing is, what are the debts that they're trying to deal with today, and what does their overall credit look like?
So is that like your credit card debt, student loans, all of that?
Exactly. You can go to things like annualcreditreport.com, get a free copy of your credit report, and you're prepared with that when you do that. The third thing is you really need to be able to prove to that lender that you cannot afford that home, but you intend and desire to stay in that home.
Okay.
Because, again, if they have to foreclose, there's going to be all kinds of maintenance issues. There's going to be all kinds of problems. They're going to lose a lot of money. The lender doesn't want to do that. They want to work with you, but they also get a lot of requests from people who really don't need modifications. And that's where the problem falls in. If you can prove you need it and you can't afford it and you want to make right by it, they will probably work with you.
How do you do that? How do you say, listen, I can't afford it now, but I intend to stay here for 10 years? I mean, do you say, is it as simple as telling like a story like I'm raising my children in this home, or I've been in the home for 15 years? I mean, what do you tell them to prove that?
From a lender's perspective, the numbers will speak for themselves. So if they're looking and they see you're trying to make your mortgage payments and they're looking and going, wow, these people really are hurting financially, but they're still making mortgage payments every month. They really are trying to keep this current. They're going to work with them to modify
do you
that.
Pay, like if you can't pay your full mortgage payment, like some of our emailers can't right now, do you send in $100 if that's all you have?
Again, I would say work with your lender, because if you just send it in and you don't talk to them, it's going to get applied, but they might still take the action to foreclose on
you. What situation you're in. Now, actually, Tim, who just emailed in, has this kind of a question about that, saying that they bought their home a year and 4 months ago, I believe. At the time, they were making $1,500 a month more than they are now. So his wife lost her job about 4 months, and they started to fall behind on their mortgage payments. This has happened to many people. So the bank gave them a 6 months forbearance. But once his wife started working again, now she's making about this is where they get the $1,500 from. She's making about $1,500 less a month, I guess, in the new job than she was in the previous job. And so the bank's been unwilling, he says, to renegotiate the loan since we have not made 12 payments yet. So I guess they only bought the home 4 months ago, not a year and 4 months. So they haven't made 12 payments. Why is the quote-unquote 12 payment rule in effect before you can renegotiate? And what could someone in that situation do? Do you know about that rule?
Yeah, well, that's pretty common with lenders. They want to see at least 1 year of you making those mortgage payments to show that you truly are trying to make an effort in that case.
Will they make exceptions if you have an extraordinary circumstance like this, like you lost a job or whatever the case may be? Will they work with you more because of your individual situation, or no?
Again, it depends on the bank. It depends on how many requests they're getting, and it depends on the case-by-case situation. I would say don't give up at this point. Keep talking to your lender. Keep calling them every day. Show them what's going on. But again, let the numbers speak for you. If you can prove that you can only afford so much, but you want to stay in that home, they're more likely to work with you than if you can't prove that, or you're just looking to try to get a modification without really being able to prove that you can qualify for it.